about our lesson about body language. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to be dressed in a casual attire. As you can see, my top is definitely ready to go, but these pants, I definitely go with black. This is a no-no. So I'm trying to tell you the do's and the don'ts of body language. All right, let's start out by giving the common example that we said. Now, I'm going to talk to my nice friend Bob over here. Hi, Bob. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bob. I hope you have a nice day.
You too.
See, now, when Bob came and told me that he was having a good day, his head was down, he had a somber tone, and he said, good. Now, I don't think that really meant good in his body language. A good would more be like, yeah, I'm doing great today. You know, put a smile into it, have a good voice. That's just one example, though. We'll go over the 5 basics, starting with facial expressions. Now, you don't want to sit there like this with no facial expression and having nothing to say and a very monotone voice. I'll cover that later. But you see how if I'm excited with a smile, you're probably listening to me more and you actually want to hear what I have to say because I'm excited about what I'm saying. So when you're speaking, make sure to try to have a smile on your face. You know, go with eye contact. Try not to laugh too much in the middle of your speech. I have a problem with that sometimes. Ha ha ha. Anyway, next we'll move on to our second, tone of voice. Now, I'll go back to the example with Bob. Bob, while his tone of voice, as I described, was somber, it was kind of like this, and kind of slow and sad. And when you're giving a speech, tone of voice can definitely affect what you're saying, as you could see what I just did there. So when you're getting into your tone of voice, try to get your own groove. Try to figure out where you're comfortable at, whether you're a quiet speaker or a loud speaker. It's okay. It's all about being comfortable with your tone of voice. Next, we'll move on to movement. Now, movement. We're not trying to stroll around the stage here too much, guys. You want to be able to walk one step to your left, one step to your right comfortably, but you're not trying to move the whole time. If you're maybe pointing to a visual aid in the background, like this blackboard, it's good to move while you're talking, but still looking at the audience is the best way to go. So while more experienced speakers like to do more movement, don't feel bad if it takes you a while at first. Movement is very hard to master. All right, for eye contact. Now, I can stare at you the whole time, or I can change my eye contact to different audience members and act like I'm speaking to the whole classroom. Now, I prefer the second approach. People that are getting nervous might try to look at one spot, and that might be good for you to get some kind of eye contact. But try to move across the room and find 3 different points to switch between when you're speaking. All right? Now, eye contact, while you're trying to look at the audience, we're also trying to not look at the floor. Or if you're speaking to a visual aid, while you're speaking, use it, but don't stare at it. You're not speaking to the blackboard, you're speaking to the people. All right, last but not least is the hand gestures that we got going for speaking. Now, those were kind of wild and crazy, but as you can see as I'm speaking in this video, that I use hand gestures naturally. Now, some people don't. Some people like to keep their hands behind their back and just quietly, move between each step instead of using gestures. But if you like to use gestures, just make sure they don't get too crazy. You want to keep your hands inside a certain bubble in front of you. You want to be able to talk, but not overstretch what you're saying. All right, going back to our 5 key points of this lesson, which are, first, facial expressions. Second, tone of voice. Third, movement. Fourth, eye contact. And fifth, gestures. Now, I hope you guys learned a lot from this lesson, and you have a nice day.